So we have angle 105 is subtended by AC. Okay, that one is fine. That one is correct. Let's check the other given angle. The other given angle, what can you tell me about this angle here? What is it here?
The exterior angle, Mr.
No, okay, an exterior angle. For you to have an exterior angle, let me show you something. For us to consider it to be an exterior angle, it needs to be produced from one of the lines. Here, if you consider that you have triangle ATC, now if it has to be an exterior angle, it needs to be produced from, it can either be produced from AT, it can either be produced from TC, or it can be produced from AC. So it's not an exterior angle, this one. But now, what do we call this line? Remember, what did they say about this line? STU. What is STU?
Tangent.
It's a tangent. So here you have an angle between a tangent and a chord. You have an angle between a tangent and a chord. Okay. Now, which chord am I talking about here? The angle here, it's an angle between a tangent and a chord. Which chord are we talking about?
TC.
It's chord TC. Ne? Is there any angle subtended by TC?
Yeah.
Okay, give me the angle which is subtended by TC.
A2, Mr.
A2. Ne? So, in other words here, we can say, so this angle here is going to be equaling to 40. Even if they didn't tell me what I need to calculate this, I will start by saying this here is going to be equaling to 40 degrees. Because this one here, it's a tangent. You know? And then I'm using the information that they told me, which this thing here, it's a tangent, before I start to attempt the questions here. So I'm just using the fact that that one is a tangent, okay? Let's check the following here. Is there any other angle subtended by TC? Any other angle subtended by TC?
No.
There's no any other angle subtended by TC. Ne? Okay, but let's move on. The other thing that we were told that BC is equaling to TC. Now, if they told me which those two are equal, what is it that you can tell me then? What do you know about? Because this is the chord, this is chord TC. Ne? What is it that you can tell me about those two chords then?
They subtend equal angles.
They subtend equal angles. Okay, which angle is subtended by BC, Jane? I'm going to use a purple color for it. It's what?
Angle A.
Angle
A. A1.
Angle A1. So this one here is also going to be 40. Ne?
Yes.
Okay. But is there any other angle subtended by BC?
Yes.
Okay, which angle is that?
O1.
O1. Okay, but O1 is at the center. Ne?
Yes.
Now, what can you tell me about O1 then? If O1 is at the center, I'm going to use a different color for O1. What is it that you can tell me about O1?
It's 2 times 8.
The angle is the circumference.
So what should be this angle here?
80 degrees.
80 degrees. So here, just to remember, how did I get these answers here? I'll just write some notes here so that when we start working here, I know exactly how did I get this one. So I got this one by saying tan chord theorem. You remember that again? So I'll write tan chord just as a summary here. How did I get this one here? It's 40. What method did I use here to get this one is 40?
Equal angle subtended by equal chords.
So we have equal chords here. Okay. How did I get this one here? It's 80.
Angle at center is twice angle at circumference.
So here it's angle at center. So I'll say angle at center. Okay. Now from here onwards, is there any other angle subtended by BC? Let's check that. Any other angle subtended by BC?
Yes.
And then it means in other words, I can say these two, I'm going to write them as red to say this one and this one, they're also going to be equal. The reason why these two are equal, I will just write here. For my notes, when I start working, then I will say here I have angle opposite equal sides. Okay, I think we've highlighted almost everything that is here on this diagram. Let's go and start to work now. We are looking for number A. Start with A. And then on A, I'm looking for A1. Can you see A1 again?
Yes.
Okay, how did I get to A1? I started by saying angle 40. I started by saying A2 is going to be equaling to 40. You remember that again? You see the purple color. Look at the purple color. What was the reason why I'm saying A2 is equaling to 40?
The tan chord theorem.
The tan chord theorem. So we'll say, okay, this one here, it's tan chord theorem. Now, I'm not looking for A1, I'm looking for A2. How did I get A2? I said A1 is going to be equaling to A2, which is equaling to 40. Why did I say A1 is equaling to A2, by the way?
They're subtended by equal chords.
So we'll say equal chords, subtend, equal angles.
Angle.
Okay, so we are done with the first one. Good for us. And then they will give us 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So far, so good. Okay, let's go to the next one now. Number B. Number B, I want to get O1. I think we already got O1. You remember that again?
Yes.
How did we get O1? Let's just remind each other. If I wanted to get O1, we said O1 is equal to what?
2 times A1.
O1 is going to be 2 times A1. And then the reason why we are saying that is because we have an angle at center, which is equaling to 2 times angle at circumference. What is A1?
Yes. 40 degrees.
It's 14.
Oh,
Then
40.
it makes our O1 to be equaling to what? To 80 degrees. We are still fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one then. Let's give it to Jane. Jane is on form today. B2. Jane, we didn't talk about B2. Almost all of them we calculated, but we didn't say anything about B2. But a hint I will tell you, I will start by saying these two are equal. That's my hint. I will start by saying, okay, if I'm looking for C, the first thing that I will say that B1 is equaling to C1, angles opposite equal sides. And then I'll get what is going to be B1 and B and C1.
And get a friend.
Yes.
It's a triangle. Triangle BOC.
Triangle BOC. Okay, let me take that one out. So you're saying I have triangle BOC. Okay, triangle BOC. What should I do with triangle BOC?
I find angles B1 and C1.
Okay, we're going to find angle B1 and C1. Okay, so you're saying I should say that B1 plus C1 is going to be plus
B1 plus C1 plus O1 is 180 degrees.
It's 180 degrees. And then what is your reason here, Jane?
Sum of interior angles of a triangle.
Sum of angles in a triangle. Okay. All right. So you said these two are equal. So it means that I can either write B1 as C1 or I can write C1 as B1. So I'm going to do this then, based on what you told me. I'm going to replace this one and write it as B1. Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then if I say P1 and P1, these two are going to be like terms. I have 2 P1. And then we know what is O1 again.
Yeah.
Okay, what is O1? We got O1 as
80 degrees.
80 degrees. Okay, then it means if we say here we have 80, we will have 180 degrees minus 80. And then if you continue with this, you are going to divide both sides by 2. And then what do you get as your P1?
50 degrees.
Okay, P1 is 50 degrees. But that's not what we are looking for, Jane. I'll come and write it here. We need it. P1. We got it as 50, Jane. So how do you propose we get this one, the P2? How can we get this P2 here?
Okay.
Yes.
It has to be an opposite angles of a cyclic quad.
Yes, Rapelo, you are saying, Humutso is saying, guys, look at this. He's saying that we have A, B, C, T. Can you see that one again? A, B, C, T. It's a cyclic quadrilateral again.
Yes.
We know that this one here is 105. And then we know that if I add these two, they're supposed to give me what? 108. You know? So we'll say angle
Yes.
B plus angle T. They're going to give us 180 degrees. Reason being we have opposite angles of a cyclic quad. And then from here onwards, we know that B is B1 and B2. No? So we'll say here we have B1 plus B2, which is going to be equaling to 180 degrees minus 105. But we know what is B1, remember again.
Yes.
Yeah, what is B1?
It's 50 degrees.
It's
50 degrees.
It's 50 degrees. Ne? So it means that we will say then B2 is going to be equaling to 180 degrees minus 105 minus 50 degrees. And then if we subtract, what do we get for this one?
25.
We get what?
25 degrees.
45.
degrees.
25 degrees.
35.
25.
25.
25.
25 degrees. Okay. Guys,